Three, two, one. Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to another edition of Coffee with Knight. Let's get everything, let's pop out this check, get things shared around, and we'll try and get things working here. Eileen, you're here bright and early as usual. Good morning. So let's get over into that chat screen. So how are we doing today, Eileen? I'm still working on trying to get all that sorted like it was last time. So how are we doing today? Just lovely. Well, that's a good thing, I guess. How's Rich doing? How's his leg? Also, I'm having a little cup of coffee here with some Irish in it. Because that is needed today. We are currently trying to potty train little man, and it is interesting. So do you have any projects on the docket for this week? Oops. Shift drag. Let's try that. Door hangers and a serving tray. Miserable. He hates sitting around. But this gives him plenty of time to play Mario. This should be a godsend for him. And door hangers and a serving tray for a wedding gift. Fancy. I would love to see how those door hangers turn out for you. That didn't work. Let's see, I'll be posting pictures on Facebook and Instagram when I get them done. I can't wait to see. Your stuff is always so much fun. Let's see. Is a chat box from Streamlabs. Let's see. You're welcome. You're like I said, your stuff is always so well done and fascinating to me that I love seeing it. I absolutely love seeing your work. So. So it seems like I have no ability to actually scale my text in here. Oh, hold on. I don't know what all that is. I am not a fan of technology. Well, I'm not a fan of technology that I can't fix without a hammer. Let's put it that way, because I get very sick of it very quickly. Which is a problem when you think about it, because most technology you can't fix with a hammer anymore. I'm definitely turning into a grumpy old man. So I got a new toy for the house. Oh, this has some weight to it. I like that. Got a staple gun for the house. This is a Walmart brand. But I figure this should be more than enough to hang some line and just do some house projects and tack things back together when I'm not able to address it with from shop materials. Let's get this guy opened and loaded. Sorry, I was going from car to house. I need one of them too. It's very good to have stuff like this just because... Oh, this one has a lock on it. And apparently it can this can handle staples as well as like little tack nails. So it looks like the nails get loaded sideways. This is so strange. Yeah, it can handle a 1/2 inch, 9/16 and 5/8 inch brad nail. And then a handful of staples. How the hell does this get loaded? All metal construction, high-low power switch controls drive height for different materials, drives brad nails and heavy staples. So I mean, probably won't be good for industrial use, like, you know, in the shop and stuff, but for around the house stuff, I'm anticipating this being fantastic. So how do I get this guy? Like it says, do not load staples here, but that's how you load staples in a normal staple gun, right? It says bottom loading. So I don't know. I'll get this figured out. This is definitely different from what I'm used to. But so projects for this week. I made a little video for that one client. I need to get that edited and sent off. For the table that I designed last week, I made 2 other iterations. Actually, I can show that here in just a moment. Let's make sure that's front and center. Yeah. Let's get that design screen and pull this up. So here's the 3 different iterations. So these would be like with solid feet, just to make things easier, cheaper, and simpler. In a faux castle joint is how the pedestal attaches to everything. And then these keepers here just kind of help stabilize it just a wee bit extra and add a little bit of class or zhuzh to it. But it's the same basic principles as, you know, these other guys. And this guy, how he follows you, is kind of creepy sometimes. Isn't that kind of weird and kind of creepy? I don't know. Oh, I didn't even have it on there. So let's do it over there. Follows you around. It's kind of weird, kind of creepy. Here's the 3 tables. And these back ones here have like a faux castle joint. Kind of think she's gonna go with this guy on the left. To me, it just looks like the classiest of the two. It's also probably the easiest to handle and the lightest weight. So that's probably what she's gonna go with. And if I could, I would make the tabletop split in half and like fold over so it'd be easier to carry. And maybe that's another version I could try before shooting everything off. I don't know. Let's get back over here. I'm just gonna get rid of that because that's awesome, all of them. Thank you. It's always fun trying to work on. I enjoy trying to work within somebody's constraints. It gives me a lot more freedom. By taking away some freedom, it forces me to get creative, and that's where a lot of the fun things come in. If that makes sense. Oh, I think I figured it out. That is weird how that loads. Huh. Anyways, there's that. So I think I'm going to try one more idea with that tabletop thing, because the client is a little bit older, and so it would be better to be able to make it as light as possible and as easy for them to deal with and carry as possible. I just wonder how much, lateral loading one of those metal Lazy Susan devices can carry. Because let's say you're doing, this is for a medium. So let's say the she has 4 people, 5 people standing around this table, including herself. And everyone just very, has their hands at very, on the table very lightly. And somebody my size is really, leaning on it. Is that going to break the mechanism? Is you know what I'm saying? So there's always some sort of weird, there's always some engineering that has to go into these things. I can't just do things like slapdash. I have to think about all these different contingencies and everything else. So it's heavy duty Metal Lazy Susan parts. Okay, so I think I might have just found one. A couple here are kind of big. I don't know. I don't think that's the right one. A 6-inch square turntable with 400-pound load rating. That might do it. But I think that's vertical loading, not torsional loading. Everbuilt, I use a lot of their stuff. See, I'm not even sure exactly how I would, I don't even know how to attach this thing. You know? I guess if I make a faux plate instead of a faux table, or maybe bolt it, and then I could slide the bolts through the faux table and do that and have the tabletop sit on that. And maybe even have the tabletop screw into that faux table. That would work even, I think. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. There's just so many, variations and variability to this thing, And so many different things to consider. So, I do have a small project for today that I need to at least kind of plan out. I got more chisels. Now, I could just throw all my chisels into the same box. But now I have 3.5 sets of chisels. So I kind of think it's time to make a thing to organize them. Just so I have everything together. But at the same time, I don't have every set of chisel. And eventually I would like to, because I like hoarding tools, apparently. So I'm not sure what to do. Should I keep them all in the same box? Because I mean they are. Let's just get the big ones here. One set is vastly different from the other. these are both 3mm spacing, and this is the 5. Now, the 3mm is like I'd use this guy for doing something decorative only, because the blades here cut out way too much. They cut out way too much material to be structural. That's also the most expensive set. It kind of sucks. That's the Craft Pro from Tandy Leather. Don't buy them. Now these Weaver chisels, they have a lot more space between each stitch, which means they're harder to stitch, but because there's more leather left between each stitch, it's a stronger joint. So I definitely like these guys. And then, but this is something for like wallets and stuff, small things. So you have a more of a dainty appearance. And then I got this guy. This is 5mm. I did this for the kidney belt. I bought this specifically for the kidney belt I just did. Makes life so much easier. But then I also have a multi-hole punch for when I really just don't care that much about appearance, and maximum leather and maximum speed of stitching is paramount. I don't know where that guy is. He's somewhere around here. But that leaves a very sloppy stitch, but at the same time, it keeps things fast, easy, and economical. So like the 5mm stitch I did for a kidney belt that I recently shipped, and that is, the client was very happy with it, but the stitches on it needed to be structural, and so I had a heavier thread and I had those stitches, but it took some time. But it had to also be pretty. So there's a compromise between every stitch you use. But then, like for Easter, I made my nephew a quiver. I use the holes because 1, it's for a 10-year-old, and 2, I just need to get something done and out the door for him, because we bought him all these arrows, and then being the uncle that I am, I also loaded, after I put the arrows in there, I loaded the whole thing up with candy. So, because you gotta have fun with a kid, come on, right? I never shared this to Facebook. I'm kind of ahead of myself and kind of way behind on everything I'm doing. That makes sense. There's the group. Yeah, very, very late to the game. So the forge. I rebuilt the forge this week. And it looks way better. It is way larger than the previous iteration. The fire pot is like, at the base, 4 times larger. And at the mouth of it is like 6 to 8 times larger, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I built a pass-through into it, so I can work things like swords, because I actually have a sword commission coming up. And then I steel lined the whole thing, so it should be a very good in theory, it should be excellent. However, I changed the tuyere, which is where the air comes through. And I've seen a lot of guys using, instead of like that bulbous thing that I have with all the holes drilled in it, I see guys using grates. So they have, just bars. So I use 1/4-inch bars with a 1/4-inch space in between. And I welded that to the steel. And for the wood fire, it worked fantastic. But Friday afternoon I tried doing a coal fire in there, and it was just atrocious. I don't know what happened, so I think I'm gonna rip those guys off, grind that area down just a little bit, and then tack weld on the old tuyere onto that steel, and just see how that functions. Because it was such a disappointment, y'all. I don't even know where to begin. So, but I've put too much time and effort into getting this forge up and running nicely that it's one of those things that just needs to get done now. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to make one more iteration of that table, though. Take the Lazy Susan piece, throw it on the inner sleeve, and maybe make a small plug for that. She wants everything to be able to be taken apart and put back together with no tools. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to accomplish that. That sounds like Mick is having one hell of a time with little man. Let's see. Sounds like the forge is coming along. It is. The first iteration was just made with the brick that I tore down from the old chimney, which was a serious health hazard, by the way. So I used that brick. I cleaned some of them off, used that to bulk it out, and I actually used some really crappy coal as base filler, and then I just covered everything with quickset cement just so I could have something then and there. And it worked for a while. I was able to get up to welding temperature with it, and I forged an axe with it, and I did those fry holders and everything else. So a lot of projects came out of it. But regular cement isn't meant for high temperature settings. And the forge is kind of high temperature. So at the end, it did start crumbling down. I got everything up to around 3,000 degrees, which is kind of the upper limit of most refractory cement as well. But that's actually designed to deal with those sorts of temperatures. So we'll see how that comes along. It's just I have to figure out that one. Well, it's the most important component actually. Is the air, because with the airflow you get the heat. No airflow or poor airflow, no heat. So, but we'll figure it out. It'll all get figured out eventually. I also need to make shoes. So I think I'm going to be doing that video soon as well. But do I have my tape measure here? Because I can start designing. We have a half hour left. Let's start designing this guy here. Where is my tape measure? That child stole it again. Which, let's be honest, he probably has. Is it behind here? Nope. Everything is somewhere. I just can't find it. I'm sure you have days like that as well. What's up? Hey, Caleb, how's it going, buddy? It's been a hot minute since I've seen and talked to you. Yes, they always seem to get legs and walk away. Yes, they they definitely do. It's funny how things do that. So, Caleb, how's that new job going for you? Yeah, a lot's been going on, doing well otherwise. His job's pretty well. That's good. And good morning, Alan. How we doing today, buddy? Lots been going on. Yeah, a lot has a way of... Life has a way of getting away from you. Alan, I was just talking about the forge. I'm having an issue after I've rebuilt it. And maybe you'll be able to help me. With my old 2-year, I was able to get a lot of good airflow and everything else. With everything revamped, I tried changing it. And instead of having that little bulbous thing I had with the holes drilled in it, I've seen a lot of smiths having good results with bars, a bar grate. So I took 1/4-inch bar and welded it, with a 1/4-inch space, roughly, very roughly. Anyways, there was 0 air restriction on the 2-year, but it seemed like it worked fine for the wood fire. But it seems like when I added the coal, I just couldn't get a proper heat on anything. So I was wondering if you had any insights into it. This is really going to bug me now that I can't find my tape measure. But what I was thinking of doing is ripping off those bars and just flattening out the old tuyere where it coped over the pipe, and just flattening out that section and welding that down to the plate and seeing how that did. Just tack it in a few places and see how that does, and then give it a run through, because that worked pretty well. But not enough restrictive air pressure. So it needs to be restricted air, or it needs to be higher pressure air. So, for those of you who have joined late, we're doing potty training this weekend, and it is a struggle. It is a real struggle. I love Little Man to death, but oh, good Lord. And yeah, it's fun, like putting a hole in your foot. Fun. I know it needs to get done, but just, dude, it doesn't need to be this hard. Less fighting would be nice. Less whining and screaming would be nice. So. But yeah, the bigger forge, I think, will do a lot better. See, higher pressure with the old one. You're restricted to coming out the holes. With the bar, with the bars, less restriction, less pressure. All right, that makes sense. Because even when I turned on the vacuum to blow air in, with the old tuyere, the bellows would actually fill up and create like a back seal, basically. And with this one, there is no filling, so maybe that's the issue. So I think that's what I'm going to do tomorrow, is get that tacked and mudded in place, and give that a good test through. Just so I can get that to bed, because I don't have any forging projects on my plate right now, other than getting the forge itself back up to spec. Because that's something that really needs to get done. And then I can move on and start worrying about other things, like cleaning the shop, because it is a disaster right now. For mine is running through a 3/4 pipe. Mine runs through, I think it's a 2-inch PVC pipe that I have mine running through. So it moves a lot of air, but it's not, but I think you're right, it needs that restriction, so it has that higher power, that higher pressure. And I've noticed, I also noticed that with the higher pressure, I don't really get clinkers gathering around the tuyere. I very, very seldom have that problem. but with the bars, a lot of the used coal just fell right into the ash trap, still lit. So yeah, I think I definitely need to switch that up. I thought I had a good idea. I thought it was going to work just fine, even better, but hey, live and learn. That's why it's that's why anytime you're building something new, it's really an experiment. Sometimes the experiment works. This was just built, with a few random ideas from, I've seen on the internet over the last couple of years. I didn't have any plans or really write anything down. I just kind of did it. But that usually works out for me. So higher pressure. Got it. And the thing about having this bigger fire pot, though, too, is I think I'm going to burn through coal a lot faster. But coal is pretty cheap. So, if you like the bars, turn it into a lattice. See, the bars were more of an experiment. And I'm not really married to that idea. So I think I'll just go back to what I was using. Because it definitely had more than enough pressure. I got up to welding heat like that. And that sounds like it'd take a lot of welding to get that to turn those bars into a lattice. So I think I'm just gonna go with the the easier solution. And maybe I'll futz around with it, again in the future. I already got 1 year out of this 2-year cap, so I'll probably have to replace it sometime next year, just from it getting overly rusty and just the natural breakdown of things. But yeah. I don't know why my face is itchy today. Like my nose just the tip of my nose won't stop itching. I've had problems with my nose the last 4 or 5 days. Little man was sitting on my lap. He was all cute. He was like, we were sitting outside. He was like cuddling to my chest. I was just looking down. I'm like, oh buddy, you're adorable today. This is great. And then just out of nowhere, he sprung up and smashed my whole nose. And it just crumpled, and I heard that nice crunch of so since then my nose has been like, it feels wrong. Not like it's broken, because I don't think it's broken. And strangely enough, I didn't bleed, but oh boy. See, Alan, I am currently building a smaller brake drum forge. I think I want to convert that brake drum that you gave me into a small like mobile forge, so that I can so that I have the ability at least to go do shows and stuff like that. I think it would just be fun and interesting. But then again, I also have this interesting idea of building a hollow tube construct, like behind myself, almost like a faux stage, and you have it, 2 bars basically, 2 tubes, and you have holes drilled in it at a certain interval, and you have propane attached to each side, and at the bottom you have a speaker. So then I would have two microphones in front of me, one for left, one for right. And as I'm sitting there and pounding away, those microphones would transfer to the speaker and change the pressure in the tubes. So it would be, it would every hammer blow, it would shoot off some fire around me. If I'm going to be doing demonstrations and stuff. I think that would really draw a crowd. Have little pyrotechnics. What is that called? Because you can look it up on YouTube, and they're very easy to do. P-Y-R-O-T-A-B. Pyro table? Flame table, no. If I do that, I would make a video on it. Man, I wish I could remember what it was called. But even if I'm not doing anything massively impressive at the forge, just having that whole setup right there would get a lot of eyeballs. And I think that would make blacksmithing look a hell of a lot cooler to the average person than just some dude in an apron, smashing away at on an anvil. And then, of course, you could throw music onto it, and it would do its own thing there, too. But I just like the idea of smash, smash, So... Alright, let's see here. They did call it a pyro table. Why did that not show up when this flaming pyro table? Yeah. I don't know why it didn't show up when I typed in pyro table. Yeah, so it's a pyro table is what it is. Musical fire pit, someone's calling it. So they did it with a plate. It looks like a 12 by 12 plate with a bunch of 16th inch holes drilled in it and a speaker on either side. And so as the left and right speaker, change the pressure inside, it makes the fire dance, basically. Oh, there's actually an Instructables on it here too. Rubens tube, that's what it is. It's called a Rubens tube or pyro board. There we go. Rubens tube. So basically, instead of having, so you get to visualize sound waves in fire. So instead of having just one, you'd have a set of them. Flame tube is another one. So yeah, there you go. I just think that would be a really cool and fun project and kind of a something to really get the crowd involved. Let's see. Alan won't be doing any projects for the next 2 weeks though. Why are you going to? Is it Pensick time of the year already? Oh, it looks like it is. It's going to just me and Ellie at home. Jill is on her way to Pensick. Ah. Well, now is a perfect time to get a hammer in little Ellie's hands. Just saying. Last week I had Connor pumping the bellows for me. It was hilarious though, because he had full control over it. But he was getting angry that the fire was getting bigger every time he pulled on the handle. It's like, dude, you are the sole person in control of how big this fire is right now. And I've shown him the mechanics of how it all works and explained it a few times, and it seemed like he understood. But at the same time, he didn't, or maybe he was just so wrapped up in it and he just didn't remember or whatever. But get a hammer in your hand. Get some projects done. Let's see. She already helps with the hammering on occasion, especially when I'm doing brass work. That's awesome. That's how you be a good dad. Skull. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to put on the old 2-year and see how that works out. I think I'm just going to tack it on real quick, just a few tack points, and run the fire and run the forge, see how that works. And if it does work good, really clean the piss out of it, fully weld it, and then I will get to, I'll throw it through one full heat cycle, and get that up to welding temperature just to really check it, and then probably clean the shop. So, because that shop is bad. I also want to start trying to finish off the table, the assembly table. So I need to get some doors on it, especially at least around where the router is, because I think that would cut down a lot on sound. Because it is currently an absolute bear when it comes to noise, and being inset into that big giant hollow table is just awful. So I think if I put a door on there and maybe put some foam, like dampening pads or something in there, just to try and help alleviate some of that noise, it'll be a game changer. I say that a lot. Everything's a game changer. Well, it kind of is, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I think getting that fitted out and trimmed, and getting a door in there and getting some foam inside there will definitely help a lot. But today, I'm going to be hanging lights on the porch. Got this new staple gun. I really want to try it out. So, we'll see how that works. Yeah. So I think that's going to be my week. I'm going to be seeing a few clients this week. One guy for a sword, which is why putting the pass-through on the forge was such a big thing for me. I can get that all cleaned up and hopefully get that running and working the right way tomorrow. And yeah, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of big improvements have happened over the last 2 months into the shop. Getting the foam on the floors is a huge help. But now I have to worry about my architect stool putting holes in the foam. I need to find a better way of connecting I made some nice big fat wooden feet for it, but they're not really sticking. So I need to find some way to get that all adhered together so that works well. Tried hot glue. Hot glue broke down within a day. So there's that. But we'll get there. We'll figure it out sooner than later. Let's see. Otherwise, yeah. Just do that. I need to make myself some shoes, so that'll probably be a quick video. It won't be a quick video. Should be. I also need to get back into the habit of, once I have the shop clean, videoing everything. Oh, also, I started a TikTok. Right now it's just kind of random thoughts that I post up there every couple days or whatever. But it seems like I'm getting a few hundred hits on each video, roughly. And that is Knightsmith official. Yeah, 217, 198, 240, 210. So, not sure how well you can see that, but yeah, Knightsmith official. Got a couple videos up. Go check it out and laugh at my idiocy. So guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. If you want to support me a little bit further than just watching, liking, and subscribing, which you should do anyways, go over to patreon.com/Knightsmith, and even $1 a month really helps. Basically, that's over there just for like my super fans, the people who really just want to see this grow and expand. And soon there's going to be some gifts going out to patrons. So get over there, sign up, and you can get something free sent by me. So guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and thank you for helping me make this world better, one kerf at a time. I'll see you throughout the week. Bye-bye.